What's up, everybody? Brandon Awadis here for Awadis NBA Show. I was not planning on making a video today, but something happened, and I'm not gonna lie, it's bothering me. Marcus Morris, former player for the Phoenix Suns, just keeps on bashing the Suns, whether on Twitter, interviews, I'm not sure why, but I'm gonna give you guys a little background of everything before I go into what I think about this whole situation. So Marcus Morris played at Kansas for college with his brother Markieff. They played there. They played high school ball together. They played middle school ball together. In fact, they still live together right now at age 25. They have the same exact tattoos. They're they're as they're as close as any two brothers could get. Marcus Morris was drafted by the Houston Rockets. Markieff by the Phoenix Suns. And after 1 year, the Phoenix Suns decided to bring Marcus Morris to Phoenix to pair him with his brother. They know they love playing with each other, so for the past 2.5 or 3 seasons, they've been playing with each other. Everyone knows the Morris twins play for the Phoenix Suns, and they were kind of inseparable. Um, for a bunch of different reasons, Marcus Morris was traded to the Detroit Pistons a couple weeks ago, while his brother stayed on the Suns. And everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, they got separated, blah blah." Well, the reason they got traded is for two reasons. One, the Phoenix Suns saw a real shot they had to sign LaMarcus Aldridge, but they didn't have enough money. So they traded 3 players to clear up cap space, and one of those players happened to be Marcus Morris. And people could say, "Oh, well, what a fail because they didn't even sign LaMarcus." No, because that wasn't the main reason those 3 players were traded. The Phoenix Suns had 5 small forwards. 5. That's a huge logjam. You don't go into a season with 5 players at the same position. You go in with 2, maybe 3. So they traded 3 small forwards. Danny Granger, Reggie Bullock, and Marcus Morris was the third. So for obvious reasons, he wasn't too happy about that. But at the end of the day, it's a business, so you got to go on with it. But I digress. At his press conference with the Pistons, because that's where he got traded to, he said 3 things that bothered me. One, he said that he didn't have the opportunity to play. He didn't have the opportunity to shine as a player with the Suns. 2, he said that it was like a slap in the face by the Suns to trade him without his consent. 3, he said that it wasn't right for him to be traded for the contract or for the money that he took from the Suns. Meaning he's pretty much saying that he took a pay cut to stay with his brother. Before I get into that, I'm going to keep going with what he said. He also said yesterday on Twitter, he tweeted to Archie Goodwin saying, "You killed it in Summer League for them clowns." Archie Goodwin, obviously a current player for the Phoenix Suns. He played Summer League for the Suns. Marcus Morris referring to the Suns as them clowns. It's been almost a month since the trade, so I don't know why he's still on it, but apparently he is. Also, this morning he tweeted, out of nowhere, he tweeted, "Blocking most Suns fans on Twitter," with a bunch of laughing emojis. "Most of y'all are bandwagon fans anyways." Okay, now I'm going to get into my thoughts. Yes, I understand brothers are close. They played with each other for the last 3 seasons. They enjoyed that very much. But let's see. Hold on. Let me just see this. Marcus Morris last season on national TV in front of hundreds of thousands of viewers, maybe even millions of viewers, yelled, and I say yelled, you could say much more than yelled. He got into Coach Hornacek's face to face on national TV, yelling at him, spit coming out of his mouth for a good 10 seconds, just all in his face. I'm surprised he didn't get suspended for that. He did get benched for the rest of the game, but that was one of the most disrespectful things I've ever seen from a player to a coach, let alone on live TV where everyone's watching. So there's one thing. Another thing is that I told you guys him and his brother do everything together. Well, they're undergoing trial right now for felony assault they beat this guy up at an Arizona gym. Felony assault because there were rumors that he was texting their mom in an inappropriate manner. But yeah, I mean, you could just see that he wasn't the best professional. And I love Marcus Morris. Like, I met him a couple times. I watched him play whether live or whether on TV for the past 3 years. Like, I'm not saying anything about him. I actually compare him to Carmelo Anthony. Like, he could score. At the end of the day, he could score the ball. He's a good bench player. That's what he is. Now I'm gonna get into my thoughts. So in his press conference with Detroit, when he said he didn't have an opportunity to shine with the Suns, 90% of the time, he was the first body off that bench. He consistently got 20 to 30 minutes a game. I mean, he's not a starter. It's the truth. He's a good NBA bench player. He's a great role player, but he's not a starter. He's not a starter. So for him to be getting consistent minutes, game after game, almost 30 minutes a game, and you say you didn't have the opportunity to shine, I mean, you want to play the whole game with no rest? Like, that made no sense. Another thing, when he said that it was a slap in the face for the Suns to trade him without consent, Marcus, there are star players who get traded without their consent, and role players are traded. A ton of role players are traded every single season. There's no problem with that. Like, you're not LeBron James or Kobe Bryant. I'm sure the Phoenix Suns did not have to ask you if they're allowed to trade you. It's a business. You cause trouble on the court. But that's a different story. They had a logjam at small forward, and they decided to trade some of them, which was the right move. There's another reason. So, and then third, when he said that, pretty much saying he took a pay cut to stay with his brother, and the Suns traded him, Marcus, $5 million a year for a bench player who averages less than 9 points a game seems fair to me. Especially since when you got that contract, it was when the salary cap was still low, but under $60 million. I have $5 million is fair. The most, maybe on the open market, he could have got $1 or $2 million more. But there's no reason to bring up the money that I took from the Suns. No. Also, when he called the Suns clowns, it's been like a month since the trade happened. I mean, if you're still not over it, I don't know. I don't know what to say, but I'm not Marcus Morris. I don't control his Twitter. He could say whatever he wants. I just don't think that makes sense. For him to call Phoenix Suns fans bandwagons, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Phoenix Suns have never won an NBA championship. They haven't made the playoffs in 5 years. I don't know why people would bandwagon on the Suns. That makes no sense. Like, I talk to a bunch of NBA fans every day, and rarely do I bump into one who says, oh yeah, I'm a Suns fan. It just doesn't happen. You hear Lakers, you hear Heat, you hear Cavs, you hear Warriors. You just don't run into it. No, you don't bandwagon for a team who has never won an NBA championship and is currently not a playoff team. That's pretty much all I have to say. I understand why. I guess he's mad that he got traded away from his brother, but it's not like it was out of nowhere. The Suns had to trade a few small forwards, and he was one of them, let alone the fact of how much trouble him and his brother caused on the court and off the court last year. And I'm not calling them troublemakers. We're not getting into that. But, I mean, they did some things that professional NBA players just don't do. And, I mean, I'm not going to lie. It bothers me that Marcus is still bashing the Phoenix Suns, which is an organization who values the players that play for them presently and in the past. I mean, they're not... I don't know. Well, I mean, that's all I have to say for today. I mean, leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think about this whole situation. But, I mean, those are my thoughts, and I hope you guys enjoyed today.